If I told you that you have to draw a Christmas tree, a Christmas present, and a gingerbread cookie as humans, how would you do it? What would you do? How would you go about it? And that's exactly what I was asking myself, because today we have a special Christmas themed video with Christmas themed drawings. So let's get started. Hey magical sparks, welcome back to my channel. It's Spark Girl, and today we are going to be unboxing and trying out a brand new art supply that was very kindly sent to me by the company Arrtx. And over the years, yes, I have tried out multiple Arrtx acrylic paint pens, all of which were really cool and I was quite impressed with. But today we have something a little bit more different, because these specific markers, they don't require any activation. All you have to do is just give them a shake and they're ready to use. So of course, today we are going to be putting these markers to the test and seeing exactly what all the hype is about. Let's get to it. Alright then, here is the marker set. Already I am loving the design because recently I've been kind of obsessed with this pastel mint color. Like even my new water bottle is almost the exact same color. So I'm loving the color palette. I'm also loving the bubbly design in the packaging. I think it looks really cute. So this set comes with 36 colors. So if you flip the box over, on the back you will see multiple things, including a printed version of all the colors that you get in this set, as well as instructions on how to use the markers and a visual of how the actual marker looks. And now let's just take a moment to admire the packaging and then move on to the unboxing. And now opening up this marker set, check it out, here are the markers. And I don't know why, but there's just something that makes me so happy when I open up a brand new art supply and see that it's organized by color. Like, I don't even know, it just made me so happy. Also inside, the very first thing we get to see is this thank you card from Arrtx, and then behold the wonderful markers. And now if you're a little bit confused as to how these are actually 36 markers, that's because there is another layer of storage underneath. And here's how it looks. Check it out. I don't know about you, but that looks like a lot of markers to me. Like 36 as a number doesn't sound like much, but when you visually see it in front of you, that's a lot. And now let's have a closer look at the marker. So here's how it is. We've got the Arrtx logo and we've got the color code as well. Along with that, the cap reflects the color of the marker, and on the bottom side of the marker you can see instructions on how to activate / use them, which is super simple. Shake, uncap, and use. It's that easy. And this design is so cute and so effective because not only does it look adorable, but you can also easily see how much ink is left in your marker. And I honestly think this is so creative and clever, like at the same time, so I'm definitely loving that. Also, here's the brush tip, and yes, for anyone who's wondering, the cap does very successfully fit on the back of the marker. And there's that. I really like the design and just the overall look of these markers. It's definitely very cutesy and aesthetic, which definitely suits my vibe as well. And honestly, so far I'm loving it. But let's actually put the markers to the test and see how they work on paper. So I grabbed out my watercolor sketchbook from Arrtx and just flipped to a random page, and boom, we are ready to get swatching. Now don't get me wrong, on one side I do kind of like the process of activating acrylic markers because yes, it is satisfying and it is fun, but at the same time, if you have a very large set of markers, it can become quite time consuming and it can take a long time and get a bit tedious. But when it's something like this where you just kind of shake it and start using it, it just becomes so much more efficient. Okay, honestly, on a scale of 1 to 10, exactly how satisfying was that? Because I would give that about 100 out of 10, because I found that so satisfying. Also, here are the final colors. Here's how they look on paper. And as you can see, they are quite opaque and also dry with a very nice matte finish. Overall, I am loving the variety of colors, and I think this set has a very good selection of different tones and colors. And with that, let's move on to the drawing process. So today we are going to be drawing not just 1 or 2, but actually 3 characters in total, which I'm kind of excited for. And in specific, we are going to be drawing 1 character inspired by a Christmas tree, a 2nd character inspired by gingerbread cookies, and finally, our last character inspired by Christmas presents. And if you're wondering why I chose that specific combination, for that question, I do not have an answer because I kind of just came up with it super random. I mean, I probably could have done something different. I probably could have turned a Christmas wreath into a character, or I don't know, like peppermint candy into a character, or Christmas pudding, probably. But I don't know, I came up with this combination and now we're just going with it. Also, if the design for the Christmas tree character looks a little bit familiar, that's because I actually reused one of my old drawings and the design I used for that drawing. Specifically, if you go to 2022 and watch my Christmas video that I posted around about Christmas time, you will see that the Christmas tree character that I drew kind of has basically the same design. So I kind of just reused that. But for the other 2, I kind of came up with something new and fresh. And of course, as we go along, I'm also going to be walking you guys through my thought process as well. Alright, so to start it off with our gingerbread character, which is the character in the center, I kind of wanted to give her a bit of an athletic outfit. So I thought of drawing a netball skirt, and I also decided to give her a jacket to kind of represent the way that a gingerbread cookie sometimes can get burnt on the outside, but even if it is burnt, the inside will taste nice and soft, and that's kind of what I was going with. So I made her jacket slightly dark on the outside as if it was burnt, and her main outfit more of a normal gingerbread cookie color. I also gave her some icing afterwards as I was coloring, and I gave her nice high socks with a cute gingerbread design and also some Christmas wrapping patterns on them. And also in reference to the gingerbread man, I also decided to kind of give her an athletic hairstyle. That's where the athletic element essentially came in, so I went with Dutch braids or French braids. And also, just to keep it festive, I gave her a fun Santa hat with some antlers on top. And just like that, with a bit of Christmas magic, the sketch is complete, and it is now time to lighten our sketch and begin the coloring process. And don't worry, I'll explain my thought process for the other 2 characters as we go along. Also, I was so proud of this sketch, like I was ready to just frame the sketch. And just keep this in mind in the future as well, your art does not have to be perfect for you to be proud of it, okay? If your art is just making you happy, that's more than enough. And this drawing made me happy, which is exactly why I was so scared to erase it. But alas, the show must go on, and I shall continue to trust the process. So when I think Christmas, I think red. I think of red even before I think of green. So of course, we're starting this drawing off with some red. And just look at how well the pen glides on the paper. It is going on so well, and with minimal streaks as well. And upon layering, the layer just becomes more and more opaque, which is definitely very nice. And coloring with these markers was overall such a satisfying experience. Here, let me show you. Also, sorry about the background noise. That was the aircon because it's like so hot right now, and I know it's Christmas, but like in Australia it's summer during Christmas, and summer is the hot season. So of course the aircon had to be running in the background. Anyways, as I continued coloring, you can see just how easy it was to use the markers. They were very quick drying, and I also just loved the way that they applied on paper. It kind of felt like I was directly painting on paper, which was just really satisfying. And some information from Arrtx about these markers is that they come in bright colors, they have strong coverage, they can be used for drawing and calligraphy, so they have versatile uses. They're also no pumping, as in they don't require pumping to activate them, and they are easy to use. And that's what they say, but in my personal opinion, my personal honest opinion, I agree. Like, these markers, they are genuinely really good. Like, the coverage is really good. Later on, you'll see me change a character's scrunchie from red to green, and I'll show you in real time just how easy that was to just change the color of something. Also, you're seeing me use these markers, and you can tell me for yourself. The colors in this set are very bright, that's definitely true, and since this is brush tip, it can also be used for calligraphy. And as you can see, I'm layering light colors on top of dark colors, and they're showing up really well. So I definitely like how these markers are working. And a perfect example of the opacity is, as you can see here, I'm trying to kind of ice this gingerbread cookie skirt, and with one layer, there is so much I can achieve. Now, sometimes I went back to do a second layer, like for example, with the yellow, you can see it kind of did dull down a bit, but with that second layer and some more layering, it does look really well and really opaque, which is definitely a huge pro. Some other thoughts that I had about this set is that I love the packaging that it's in. I love the way you can kind of just take the marker set out and you can display whatever set of colors you want. You can customize it in whatever order you want. I also love the design on the barrel, especially how you can see how much ink is left in the marker and that the cap fits on the other side. I also like that these markers did not require extensive activation. They were just quick and easy to use. However, one thing that I do think would be nice is if this set maybe had a swatch card included, either a printed swatch card or a swatch card that you can color in yourself. I think it would be pretty handy to just have that in the set. But other than that, I love how the set is and how the markers work. And just one more thing, I think it would be nice if this set just had a couple more skin tones. I know it's hard because this is only a 36 color set, so it's mainly meant to have those basic colors, but maybe if Arrtx came up with a skin tone acrylic marker set, that would be really cool, because you could just buy skin tone sets whenever you need them, and for people who draw characters like me, it would be definitely very useful. But anyways, back to our drawing, so check it out, we are basically done with the outfits. And now to take this drawing a step further and bring it from 2D to a bit more of a 3D look, I'm going to be using my Arrtx colored pencil, specifically this one pencil, to do the shading. And I did not expect for this one pencil to have such a dramatic effect. I actually thought I might need to use some more pencils, but as it turns out, this one pencil was more than enough for me to do the line art, to add shading, and to just make things really pop. Like, I did not know how much power I was holding in my hands with that one pencil, but I was shocked to find out. I can't believe I got all that depth with just this one pencil. Just for the record, this is the color. I'm impressed. You heard it, folks, real time. I was definitely impressed. And just like that, I took the drawing from being 2D to very much being more 3D. And now to take things a step further, I had an idea. So I wanted to use a combination of different skin tones and different hair colors. So I thought, what if I color the skin and the hair with my alcohol markers and then use my acrylic markers to add some highlights, some shading, and things like that on top. So just like that, the first thing I had to do for this process was to go ahead and outline the skin and the hair. And as we're doing that, let's talk about our Christmas tree character. So for this character, I wanted to just give her an outfit that basically looked almost like a Christmas tree. I also added in some little fluffy parts here and there to kind of represent the tinsel, and also some little baubles and little circles to represent the decorations. I also decided to give her a star on her rubber band to kind of represent the star on top of the Christmas tree. And just like that, boom, she looks beautiful. And now with the line art done, let's pick out our markers. And here are all the colors I can choose from. That's a lot of options. What do I pick? Was exactly what I was thinking. So this is my Arrtx Auras 48 skin tone marker set, and I'm just going to pick out a couple of colors to color in the characters' skin tones and their hair as well. And now you guys, you know the drill. You know the usual process. Usually I start off by coloring the skin, and then I move on to things like the outfit, the hair, and so on. And the main reason for that is because this way I can make sure that I choose colors that work well with the skin tone. Specifically colors for the clothes, colors for the hair, accessories, and things like that. But today, as you can see, it's pretty obvious that I've switched up my process, and I was a little bit worried because I am drawing 3 characters next to each other and they're kind of interacting a bit, so I wanted to make sure that the skin tones I chose worked well with the overall color palette that the characters had and also contrasted well. You know, I don't want the colors to really blend in with the clothes, so with a bit of experimenting and some layering, I finally ended up with something I was happy with. And honestly, I kind of enjoyed the adventurous and risky aspect of this process, and to be honest, I kind of want to do it again. At the end of the day, I'm just glad everything worked out. Or so I thought at that point in time, until I remembered, hold on, the hair exists and I still have to color in the hair and make sure that all the haircuts look good. Which was a interesting process, let's say. I started off with blonde for this character that I'm coloring now, ended up changing her to brown hair, and well, you'll see how it turns out. But let me tell you guys about our third character. So our character on the right is inspired by presents, and what I did was I decided to give her a nice full sleeve t-shirt with a little bow on top because obviously present. I also wanted to stick with the classic red and green theme, so I started off by giving her a red scrunchie, but I didn't like that because it didn't look that well with her red hair, so instead I changed it to green, and as you can see, these markers worked amazingly for that. I also gave her some palazzo pants, and I also just added like a bunch of random patterns on the pants, kind of to represent Christmas wrapping paper, if you know what I mean. Overall, I really wanted her to look bold and confident because Christmas presents, they tried to steal the show and they tried to kind of just be the focal point of Christmas usually, especially among kids. And that's why I gave her a kind of just really nice diva kind of expression like, hey, look at me, I'm the best, like that kind of vibe. And then I added some more shading with my pencil for all the characters, popped on some blush, and just kind of rendered the drawing. I also went ahead and colored in their eyes and added some pretty highlights. And these highlights, they are definitely what really bring the character to life. And then I also added a bunch of sparkles throughout the drawing because Christmas is magical, you know, and I really wanted these characters to sparkle. I was also debating on whether I should add a background or not, but then I decided against it just to be safe. Also, it's time to spill the tea. No, I'm kidding. It's time to drink the tea. And finally, we're signing off this drawing because, and I think you all know exactly what it means. It means it is time for the grand reveal. And here it is. What do you think? I absolutely love how this drawing turned out. I trusted the process so much with this. I had an amazing time, and these markers were beautiful to use. I loved combining pencils and alcohol markers with the acrylic markers. They definitely gave me a very beautiful textured effect. And I'd like to take this chance to send out a very big thank you to Arrtx for sending me your art supplies to try out. I had a great time using them. And also for anyone who's interested in checking out these art supplies, there will be links in this video's description if you'd like to take a look. Also, if you've managed to watch this far into today's video without skipping or fast forwarding, you are truly amazing. Thank you so much. And if you'd like to let me know that you made it this far into the video, feel free to comment any Christmas emoji down below. Anyways guys, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys all have a fabulous day. Stay awesome as always, and I'll see you all in the very next video. Bye!